We pulled this Rebel out of the barn, sitting there for 43 years.
Whoa!
We're about to see if it starts. I have to hook this up. Our hunt for classic cars has brought a guy out of Pikesville, North Carolina to Collier Motors, which was an AMC dealer up until about 1980. Somewhere on this property is a car I got my eyes on. It's a 1967 AMC Rebel SST convertible. Only 1,686 were made. Mind-boggling. Let's go see if we can find it. Javelins. Lots of them. Collier Motors opened way back in 1955 as an AMC dealership under Robert Collier and successfully operated all the way into the mid-80s until AMC started having economic and leadership troubles, which ultimately led to their demise. Unfortunately, Robert has passed away, but his son Robbie is still operating the lot to this day, although most of the inventory has sat untouched since the 1980s. Got a little Alice Chalmers tractor here. I see a Dodge Daytona, another Cadillac, and tow truck. You know I like tow trucks. It's a Chevrolet. Looks like this is where the service center starts off at the main building. Fitting to have this tow truck here. This is a Holmes wrecker bed. Believe it, and or don't. There's a Pontiac Firebird right there. There's a Rebel right here. This is very similar to what we're after. It's even the SST, which is the top of the line trim. That's a two-door hardtop. We're looking for a convertible flavor. Here's the old service center doors. This is not where our Rebel is. Let's head back this way. Power wheels with the battery. I'm told the Rebel we're looking for is back in this building here. Okay. Oh, I think I see a car in the back here. Yep. Well, here it is. Oh, yeah. Got some couchage. Yep. It's really not in that bad a shape. Well, can't really see it much, but here it is, 1967 Rebel SST convertible. This car is very special because it was actually gifted to Doug, one of the sons of the original owner of this dealership, but he was 9, and that was in 1979. 43 years this car has been sitting here. He's never even driven it. I can't really see what's going on. First thing we got to do is just get it out of here, and that means, we got to move some stuff. All right, here we go. Found a lawnmower and a bed frame. Okay. Yep. I don't know what's happening. Well, here we are. We've finally reached the Rebel. We've got everything moved out of the way. Surprisingly, 3 of the 4 tires are holding air pretty well. That's those old bias plies. One's got a slow leak, but we'll deal with that later. Right now, we're going to hook a strap on, get this onto the silver rental, and try to just drag this thing out of here. I did push it neutral or tried. The wheels are unfortunately locked up. So I'm hoping in the distance of this shed, they break free. Probably not. Okay, here we go. Well, they could have put more provisions for towing. I guess we're going there. This is Sean, good friend and producer. He's going to be wheeling the silver rattle here. So if you hit the door, just keep going. Make it wider for me. Keep on going. All right. Feed her the onions. Hold on. Stop. Well, I have painted myself into a corner.
There's something in the way.
Me. I got to reposition the strap because it's pulling it this way into a barbecue grill, gas stove, 3 couches, 47 different dinner plate sets, and a mattress. So I got to get the strap on this side, I believe. All right, nail it.
Whoa!
inside. For the first time in 43 years, this car is getting some daylight. It needs a little love. Let's walk around this thing, drink it up a little bit, see what we're working with here. Right away, I noticed the 343 badge on this side, but on this side, it has the original 290. The Rebels actually had 8 different engine variations, ranging in displacement all the way up to the 390. And if you got the machine, the legendary machine in 1970 with the iconic red, white, and blue paint, you got the high output 390, about 345 horse. This one has a 343 in it, right there. Good engine, pretty quick little devils. And it looks like we got completage. I mean, everything appears to be there. Of course, every hose, lightning hose, everything is pretty well rotted out of it, but fuel make it happeners here, water whirler, charging whirler. Body-wise, it's been wrecked back here. I see some Bondo back there. Quarter panel still looks pretty straight though. Door opens and closes, some more primer in the jam. It's definitely been painted. This isn't the original paint or color, it's close. This side, a little bit more body damage. Someone was cleaning ditches with it. This actually looks like the door might have come open too far. It got into the fender there as well. More evidence of primer repaint here. But the sills are solid. There's not really carpet in it, and I can tell you the floors are pretty solid. This quarter looks pretty good. Rear's in great shape. Bumper's a little, here and there. Again, this is the SST, which is the top of the line trim model. Didn't get any better than this. Now the convertibles only came in 67 and 68, 69 they didn't make them. Convertible top probably leaks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and crawl in this, see what we got. Oh yeah, you just gotta get right in. Yeah, it's fine. Smells like a rusty wheelbarrow full of bird beaks. It's really unique. 15,079. Nope. Easily $215.79. But everything is here. Knobs, sure. We got a Selecto-Matic radios here. Seats are in great shape. Probably just need some armor off. Nope, that's my back sweat cleaning it currently. Rear seats in it. Bunch of newspapers from the 70s. Looks like the top, they didn't even have it latched up. He probably drove around with the top down. I don't know, I'm speculating. Then folded her back up. Hard to say. So this says Rambler on the car. You'll see that on the hood, steering wheel, a couple different places. It was called the Rambler Rebel in 67. 68 on, they dropped the Rambler part, and it was just called the Rebel. All right, I gotta get out of here. I can't breathe. So here's what a guy's thinking. Obviously the top needs a little bit of love. Work on the interior a little bit, clean that up. This paint, pretty sure we can spit shine this. Get her shining like a diamond. So tires, brakes, and I heard the coast is about 100 miles from here. Boy, I'd love to have the top down on this thing, cruising the coast, just enjoying the car again. But first, let's see if it runs. So I'm going to start off by checking the health of the engine here and then work through a couple different things, try to get this to bark off and make some noise. I already checked earlier, the engine does rotate back and forth. That's fantastic news. I still am going to pull the sparkulators out, take a look at the cylinder walls, make sure everything is good there, inspect those sparkulators, make sure we don't have any physical damage or anything wrong there. Go through the ignition system, test the lightning can, the points, go through the fuel make it happener, and then we're going to jump right in. Pour some fire maker in this thing and just, can it make some noise out of the tailpipe? That would be pretty cool. So the Brake Master cylindre, it's not doing Brake Master cylindre things, just stuck to the floor. So I got to try to get this master cylinder out. But you know the deal all season long. You snap one brake line, you snap the next, and then you're 59 brake lines. I got one out. I'm going to try to disconnect it from the firewall and then actually rotate the master cylinder off of the line instead of trying to take the line out of the master cylinder. And that might save me about 36.7 months of labor. Well, that's good news. As you can see, the engine actually rotates. Guy's got pretty much a whole new ignition system in here other than the cap, rotor, Cleaned the points up. The lightning can, known as a coil, Canada, that was bad. Replaced it. New battery wires. I confirm we've got spark. So, we're about to see if it starts. I have to hook this up. There it goes. Yes. It's a runner. Oh, look at the smoke. Look at this. That's old fuel from the tank. It's going to sit here and idle. That's fuel from 1979. Incredible. All right, I don't want to run it any more than that on that old oil. The valve train didn't even clicky clack. American Motors, not bad. I got gas in my retinas. It burns. Well, the car runs, but a guy's not going anywhere with this wheel locked up like this. So what I'm going to do is call in a tow truck, hook it onto that thing, swing by the old car wash, blow this off, see what we got, and then take it right to a shop on the property here where I can start digging into this thing. After 43 years, the Rebel is out of that shed. It came to life. It ran for a few minutes. We've got to wash. Now we've got to push in the shop where we could do some more work on this. This is Doug and Robbie. Their parents ran the dealership for many years. And Doug, your dad gave this to you when you were 9 years old.
Yeah, 9 years old. And my brother, they got Javelins. He got a 74 Javelin, and my other brother got a 70 Mark Donahue Javelin. And then I got this one, but I was too young to drive it, and it needed a little work and stuff. So my dad just squirreled it away in that building, and it's been there ever since, 43 years.
So this is really the first time as an adult you will probably even ever remember seeing it out of that shed.
Absolutely, yeah. And I even in the shed, I was like, I wanted to see it from a distance so that it just kind of stayed protected back there with all the stuff around it, so it wouldn't be messed with.
Very cool. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to list you fellers. You can start taking out the seats. We can send them down to get recovered, and I'm going to start working on these brakes.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
My dad had given my brothers their cars, and then he got this Rebel convertible, and he thought it was a cool car, and it would be a neat car for me to have, and so I thought it was awesome. He wanted to store it away so it wouldn't get damaged by the elements, wouldn't get rained on, because the top was, maybe not watertight and everything at the time. I guess what he did is he really prepared it to be stored.
I was just glad to get the car out of the building, because I've been on to Douglas for a year to get the car out of the building. And to have this happen is just couldn't be any more nice, and there's no negatives that I can think of about it. We're just very thankful.
We had a great first day on the Rebel here. We got it out of the shed, we heard it run, we gave it a bath. Doug's got the interior tore out. While he was doing that, I attacked the driver's side front here and got all new brake, pretty much everything. That's going to be a wrap today. Tomorrow, back on brakes and back on this engine. Guys in North Carolina at Collier Motors, an old AMC dealership, just pulled this Rebel out of a shed. Been sitting there for 43 years. Got her washed, got her cleaned, heard it run. I'm going to dig back in on the brakes today, try to get the drinker side done. We're going to need some fuel capacitize if I'm going to cruise this over to the coast. I'm going to try to drain the fuel tank, get back on the engine, drain the oil, address the carburetor issues, all of that. Plus, I've got Dan, the interior man, on the way. He can hopefully jump in the interior here, start getting the door cards and all of that stuff taken care of as well. It's going to be a busy day. So this is a 10-ton hydraulic. It's actually a gear puller. Robbie lent it to me. I guess it works for drums pretty decently. I got the other side off. If you remember on episode 1, the Mustang, doing it manually with pry bars and sledgehammers, well, it's an easy way to basically burn up a whole day. This gets them off pretty decently. It does destroy the drums though, but we have some new ones, so they are stuck. That's off now. See, While these old poverty caps are both neat and in excellent condition, all four of them are, doesn't really give me that muscle car vibe. So we got to change it up. We need new tires anyway. So we're going to go with this. Rally style wheel, 215s on the front, 245s in the back. That's going to change the whole look of the car. Oh, got it. Yay, little victories. Well, the rear brakes, they are a mess, as you can see. All the lines were swollen, rusted, leaky. So I'm trying to rebuild it here with a couple new pieces and some stuff that I gotta make. It's really fun. It came out of there. More like can't work on it motors. Is that even the right fitting? I'm gonna have to try it from top. If I break my hand, dislocate my finger, then still nothing happens. Oh, no. Oh, blood. Oh, that was easy. It worked. Well, Dan, the interior man, is here via Wisconsin, and he's going to help me put these brake lines in really quick so we can get this bled, and then I'm sure you want to jump in and get this car on the ground.
I absolutely do.
Have you seen in there yet?
I haven't yet, but I can imagine.
Okay. He's going to like it.
Dan's upholstery and brake line shop, so here we go.
You started over there?
I've not only started, I've finished.
Nice.
I'm going to take the window handle off, the two ashtrays that we're going to try and clean up a little bit, and then clean this up, and then we're going to try and spray some color coat to change the color back to the red that it was to start with. Somebody put black in here and didn't do a very good job on it. Such is life. Not perfect, but it's better than the way it was. Just put that glass cleaner on there to give it some moisture so it's like wet sanding it.
So the Rebel's got an old Carter AFB style fuel making happening on it right now. And rather than try to rebuild this, I'm going to throw a electric choke 600 CFM Edelbrock on this, and I do have a full kit for that. So once I get that snipped on, we can adjust it and, make it do the things for the performances in the area. Should be easy off, easy on. I gave myself a jinx. Turns out the Edelbroken's butterflies are like 1,000th bigger than the Carter, and they won't butterfly into the intake. One of the most important things to me is you can get 105% throttle. You know what I mean? And we don't have that right now. This spacer is going to allow us to do that. Plops right on the intake. Carburetor is going to sit on here, and those butterflies will fold into the spacer instead of the intake, and then we'll have full throttle. There. Much better. So we're here at an old AMC dealership. Got this car pulled out of a shed after 43 years. We heard it run for a little bit, but we spent a day on it. All new brakes, fuel lines, fuel system, ignition. We're about to get this fired up again. See if we can get it idling and test the transmission. Bring the thunders. Swan. That is now officially the longest it's ran in 43 years. There's fuel coming from the tank. That's old leaded fuel. 4 decades old. I'm going to jump in, throw it in gear, see if the transmission works. great news. We got a transmission. We are well on our way to cruising to the coast. We officially have a running engine, shifting transmission, brakes that work. We've got the interior started on this thing tomorrow. We're going to continue with some maintenance on the engine here. The interior, we'll keep going on that. Seats top. And I might even start buffalating the paint. We need this thing to look good. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Good morning. If a guy's going to get the Red Rebel all the way to the coast, I need two big things. Fuel capacitize and a decent cooling system, but I can't test either until I can run the engine long enough. So I'm going to drop the oil here, get this old filter out, get some fresh oil in, then we can start running this thing a little bit longer, bring those head gaskets around, and hopefully this cooling system's good. Overtake this for the next guy. Perfect. There we go. Okay, it's a real possibility. We have a plug line from the fuel tank to the fuel pump, which is not good. I don't have another fuel tank. So I got to try to figure this out somehow. This fuel line's crispier than Bob Barker's back. I'm probably going to break it and get it off. Can a guy blow some wind through there and see if the line is restricted back to the tank? Do you hear any bubbling back there in that tank?
Oh yeah, right here. And you can feel the air coming out of it.
Well, let's replace this rotten thing. And then maybe...
rotten ain't even the word for that. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's not even a nub on the other end. You know what one of my favorite things to do is?
What's that?
Drop fuel tanks.
Yes.
It's so fun. Oh, there goes the seal on the transmission jack. It's all in the karate noises, Dan.
I'm sure that's it.
Yeah. You little rascal. The tube's on it.
So plugged tight.
This tube was completely rotted off, so we cut it flush. I raised it. We're going to try to weld this back into place, essentially, so we can get our rubber line back on this and put the same old unit back in, except now the tube isn't plugged and it actually connects. Yeah, we didn't even spill any.
Hardly any.
It's good vinegar. So we're not able to get our hands on a new fuel tank for the Rebel here, but that's okay. There's some ways to clean these gooderish enough to just get back on the road. Most commonly, people use nuts, bolts, things with sharp edges. Even some clean, sharp rocks will do the trick. However, I've done this about 948 times, and I can tell you, those are very difficult to get back out. I've found marbles to be ideal. They're much easier to get out. However, you have to work at it a little bit harder to get it clean. As far as chemicals go, we're just using some good old white vinegar and then some CLR, calcium, lime, and rust, all in which we have in here. So we're just going to dump all this stuff in here, add all these marbles, and then spend probably about an hour shaking this tank around, trying to knock free all the deposits, dump it out, put her back in. A little for me. Some for the tank. Being that all of this basically goes down your household drain, it's environmentally safe and friendly. So once we shake all this up, we can just, go dump it on some weeds or pretty much anywhere on the property. We don't have to worry about disposing of it. And basically, do this until your back locks up. See that particles coming out? I've enlisted the help of a younger spine on the staff here, and he's doing excellent, actually. There. That's a lot of rust. What? So we just finished cleaning the fuel tank out here. I just dropped in the sending unit that we rebuilt there, got the ring back on. So now we can set this back in the car. New rubber fuel line off the front, new rubber for the vent, hook back up the digicals. I mean, brand new. Lost the receipts. Hopefully that's the sink making leaking noises. But if not, we'll just ignore it. Yes. Pulling from the fuel tank. Success. Now, we can add some water, start testing the cooling system. Fingers crossed the head gaskets are good. I don't know. And the rad doesn't leak. That'd be neat. Thermostat's probably stuck. So I decided to rebuild the transmission, and what I mean by that, of course, is just dump some of the stop slip in. Once we get it fired up, I got a couple water leaks I gotta fix. Good news is, worst case scenario, there's water pouring out of the side of the block. The good news is I got a lot more water. I'm gonna top this off, quick try to lift it in the air and see where it's coming from, but effectively we just added another 17 days to this project. Sweet. That's head. That could shut us down, boys. It's safe to say it was not winterized correctly. It's one of those things. You park these away without the right amount of antifreeze in them. Bad things can happen. That is a freeze plug. Thank goodness gracious. But absolute worst possible place to be in. Right in front of the dipstick. Oh, injury. Just like going to the dentist. Nope, not even close. I need to go buy a scratch-off ticket. That's what was leaking. So I finally got this rotten freeze plug out, but I can't locate the exact replacement, and even if I did, it's going to be impossible to install correctly way back here on this head without removing the head. So I did the right thing and just smeared a bunch of RTV on a universal expandable one and jammed that on in there. Seems to be holding up there fine, but of course, now the water pump is leaking. On this rig, that means pulling off the charging whirler, the power steering pump, and all the other pulleys and belts. That's great. It's gonna have trouble when I tape a grenade to it. So I'm replacing the water pump up here. The guys from JB Auto Upholstery and Dan are gonna tackle the top, and they'll probably have that done before I'm done. Nope, that's a huge project.
Well, we're going to have to replace the top on this vehicle, and we're lucky to have JB and David from JB's Auto Upholstery in Raleigh, North Carolina here to help us do it. In fact, they're going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You're going to help us.
I'll help.
Okay.
I'll point and criticize.
That one might be stuck in there.
Right, that is fine.
Well, I'll be dipped. Well, the upholstery fellers are calling it a night, but we've still got a lot left to do, so I'm going to stay back, do a little bit of buffing on this thing, and then we'll all be back bright and early tomorrow. Keep going on the list. Well, the Rebel has been putting up a fight so far. As soon as a guy fixes something else fails. But it was sitting in a shed for 43 years, so I kind of got to give it a pass. So far, we put new rear brakes and front brakes, including a master cylinder and some brake lines, a new 4-bar carburetor, new ignition system, a freeze plug, a water pump, whole bunch of other stuff, but there's still work to do. The top's not done, interior's not done, and I still have some work to do under here. While I'm waiting for the guys to get here with more top material, I need to replace this crank pulley. It's rusted and rotting and just throwing shrapnel everywhere. Once I get it out, I'll show you how bad it actually is. There's the issue. It's not supposed to be Wi-Fi in there. It was adjusting its own belt size, and this shrapnel was just flinging out at us. Luckily, there's like 7,912 AMCs over here, so we'll grab another one, throw it right back on. This one's completely rebuilt, and by that I mean it's here we go, brand new crankshaft, forged. Good. All the weird squeaking and picking and rust pieces flying and all of that is resolved. After we put the air cleaner on, we can shut this hood one last time and done. I've got the pulley swapped under the hood. Mechanically, I think we're sound. Engine runs great. Transmission seems to be shifting. Brakes are there. We've got fuel capacity. Dan and the other guys are on it. They're doing the top right now and the interior. If all goes well, tomorrow we're setting sail for the coast. We spent the last 4 days in Pikeville here working on this beautiful 67 Rebel. We've pretty much gone through it bumper to bumper. It's ready to take its first drive in over 4 decades, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. It only makes sense that you do it, Doug.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I have never driven this car. It's kind of a childhood dream come true.
Awesome. Will you jump in the captain's seat?
All right.
I'll hit the starter trigger. Couldn't fix everything, you know. Oh, turn the key on.
Oh, that would probably do it. Sorry.
It's great that you can actually drive it to the front of the dealership where it's been sitting all these years, you know?
I know. That is so amazing.
How are the brakes?
Feel great. So get used to with the manual drums.
Yeah. Power steering even works, huh?
Yeah, the power steering is buttery smooth.
It's almost kind of almost an eerie feeling driving out of here.
I know, yeah.
Seeing all these cars.
I think my dad's probably looking down on this, and he's really happy about it. He's probably looking down on us right now, and he's really happy about, the car coming out and being on the road again.
You know what? It's a beautiful day. Why don't we put this top down?
Oh, that'd be cool. Wow. That is amazing.
Now we're talking. Very cool.
That is so cool.
So I gotta ask you, do you even remember it looking like this? You were only 9 back then.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was red. I remember my dad said it had a problem with the door we needed to fix. And, the top needed some fixing, but it's just amazing to see the transformation. Now it's roadworthy.
Well, it's been my pleasure working on the car, and I'm glad that it's a family heirloom, and I just thought it would be neat to bring it back right in front of the dealership. And we put a lot of work in the last 4 days, pretty much went through it bumper to bumper. I think it looks great. It looks really good.
I can't thank you guys enough. It's just a dream come true.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. That being said, I think I would like to drive this thing. It's a beautiful day, tops down, tank full of fuel. I want to shake this down, see if I can make it to the coast. It's about 100 miles.
Okay.
All right. Shortest route to the ocean from here is about 100 miles. First time on the highway in 43 years. Power steering actually is really good in this car. Temp gauge does work. That's good. Fuel gauge works, which is a huge plus. Nothing else. Oh, radio's back. I'll be damned.
But if the shadows will go around it, if the Falcons put a touchdown,
Mouse and sandal! I think we're going about 50 right now, and it feels like 106. It feels pretty solid on the road, actually. Other than the severe vibration of the front, ride's great. You know, my bullet's just whipping today. It is a beautiful day out, though. Guys gotta take her easy for a few miles, then we'll pick up the speed here. Let all the bearings and seals and gaskets and doodads and dippies come back around. Then we'll really get into that AMC power. I am starting to feel, almost feels like an inside wheel bearing on the captain's side front. Drinker's side feels good, but I inspected these bearings and repacked them, and they did not look bad, so I'm not sure what happened there. But I ain't, stop panicking about it, and let's just wait. It's gonna be fine. Check this wheel out. It's not a wheel bearing, thankfully. Good news is the tire was just falling off. That's fine. This episode of Roadworthy Rescues, I need rescued. So all of the studs, presumably because these really good high quality lug nuts started backing out, has galled them up, but the wheel bearing seems to be fine. So we're going to ignore all that, put this back on, re-torque down the lug nuts to 317 foot-pounds this time, and then just keep hitting it. We're like 50 miles. I'm getting hungry and thirsty. Getting a little hot. We'll just kind of ignore that for now. We've got like 41 miles left. Let's keep going. What's going on, you little rascal? Well, I think the lack of a fan shroud and a fan being, this big, and heat, traffic, it's all kind of combined together and it's hot now. But there's no water in the oil, so the head gaskets are hanging in there. Just gonna let her cool down, get some fresh water in this, gonna put some water or some sort of other magical snake chemical in there. I don't know what's in it. I think we'll be okay. We're just gonna take her easy. We're not in a rush. I think, unfortunately, my earlier suspicions are absolutely correct. Duh. Inside wheel bearing, captain's side, not happy. She's a-going. She's a-going pretty quick. I now have like 9 miles left. Just in a nice gentle speed. I don't want to ruin the spindle, but you can definitely feel when they let go, and then I'm going to have to pull over immediately, otherwise it'll get into that spindle. We're so close though. Come on! Man, it is hotter than Shakira and the 2Ps out here. I ain't kidding. Yeah, I'm really dragging the brake right now. I have to. It's the only way I can keep it on the outside bearing. The inside one has left the building. We're gonna get into some brake fade here pretty quick, but that's what reverse gear is for. Throw her up in that. 1.8 miles for like 300 kilometers. So close. Yes. Made it. Well, I think we did. It's a whole lot of water. We made it to Emerald Isle, 100 miles from the dealership. It's been a wild week. In just 4 days, we literally dug this out of a barn after 43 years, made some improvements and repairs, and drove it here. Feels great to get this family heirloom back on the road. That's going to do it for this episode and season 1 of Roadworthy Rescues. I hope somehow, some way in the future, I'll see you again. Go to motortrend.com/how-to for exclusive info on all of our coolest project cars and builds, including in-depth tutorials and detailed parts lists so you can make your very own classic car at home. In this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, I bought a Model A Ford. Some assembly required. Great. I'm in Detroit, Michigan, standing in front of what was originally Hetch Motor Sales. It was not only the first Ford dealership in Detroit, but all of Michigan. Today it's called MC3, where folks can store and rent on their projects. And speaking of projects, in the very far back lot sits our newest one. Let's go find it. This is really cool. This dealership opened in 1922. This is the original showroom. Obviously, 100 years now this building's been here, and this is a very fine example of the vehicles you would find in the showroom back in the day. This is a 1911 Model T, the vehicle that changed the world, essentially. They've actually located a cheat sheet here I'm holding, where salesmen could go through and give you a price on a new automobile, and something similar to this back then, $327.60 out the door. Let's wander through the service center, see if we can find the back lot. It's beautiful. So here's our newest project, tucked back here in the corner. It's a 1928 Ford Model 8. Well, we think it's a 28. It's been Frankenstein. There's 29 parts and all sorts of stuff on here. We're told this hasn't run since 1958, 60 plus some years, and it's a little rough. So right away we can see that these are 29 headlights and clearly not the right fenders. This Sport Coupe would have had to spare on the rear of the vehicle. This has a provision on both sides, so it's a pretty weird setup on this thing. Here's your temp gauge. You just watch that guy there, which you don't really need to. They're hot. It's gonna get hot, that's fine. It's got some pretty good rubber on the thing. Well, that's also worth mentioning. These are not the right wheels. These would be like from a 30, kind of a weird color too. Here's where you throw the kids, I guess. Oh, it looks fine. These are covers to the spares. Them will polish up. No, they're pretty much junk. Let's just pretend we didn't see that, basically. So this is another kind of quirky feature here. The brand-new irons on this. Kind of something on the Coupe. The Sport Coupe here was $100 more, and it was sporty because it was light. Didn't have all the iron and stuff in here. Cabriolet would have pulled it down. The Deluxe Coupe, the Standard Coupe, all the other coupes had a window. Let's see if we can get in this thing. Yeah. Immediately regret this decision. Well, the door cards are covered in bathroom floor mats. Extra fuzzy, that's great. Seat is a little worn, you know. It smells like a garbage disposal full of rusty watches. It's very, very unique. Got an aftermarket oil pressure gauge thing. Still got the pop-out ignition, which is, well, it's not popping. This here is pretty cool. That's choke if you pull it, but you can actually dial in your air-fuel mixture just by turning that knob. 48 pedals in here, looks like some sort of Boeing aircraft. This is pretty cool. We've got service tags on here. 1959. What's the mileage on this one? Yeah, the tag here says the mileage is 16,399 when it was serviced, and there's 16,520 on the clock. That's incredible. That's 60-some years this car's been off the road. Let's see what we got under here. There it is. Little 4-cylinder flathead. Now, someone's been in here and tinkering around. I think that was the previous owner. It looks like he got into it trying to do a restoration and it kind of just stopped. And that's when we got our hands on it. But it looks complete. Not an original head. Charging whirler stuff is on there. Lightning whirler stuff is in here. It's got the original Widowmaker on here. Those don't cool so much, but they do fly off. So that's neat. So here's what a guy is thinking, which I know that's scary in itself, but I want to get this thing running and driving safely. So brakes, steers, hopefully doesn't overheat. We got to take care of this top. Obviously, we're not going to be doing a restoration. We're just going to make it better, protect the inside from rotting, hopefully, and maybe keep the hair from blowing around a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe spiff the paint up a little bit. Then obviously the interior, well, it needs help. Get rid of the bathroom rug door covers. Might have to cut some new floors in, which, well, that's wood. That's not going to be so bad. And if all goes well, since we're in Detroit, I want to take this Model A and go cruise around and see some historic Ford buildings and all the history here in town. Well, I hope. Well, we're going to be doing a lot of wrenching under this hood, so I think what I'm actually going to do is just go ahead and delete on it for now. Hood off. I guess it's time to dig into the ignition here. This is way before lightning hoses. Just a little strip of metal here. Guy could use some barbed wire if he's in a pinch or whatever you need, as long as it conducts electricity. It looks like we're going to need a coil wire. Oh, the good news is that's been full of water. Points are severely corroded. The timing and throttle controls are actually on the column, and each click you can add timing, pulling hills, stuff like that. Otherwise, fuel efficiency, performance, you can throw some timing in the thing and scoot around a little bit. I think I'm going to pull the sparkulators out. That was brand new. It's like straight 30 weight. Does have quite a bit of viscosity though, so I think we're safe to run it for at least a couple minutes. So I'm just gonna take off this aftermarket heater here. Dig it into the ignition system here. I'm gonna go ahead and just replace everything. Distributor cap, rotor, all the connections, the wire, even the switch. We're gonna go ahead and put a new key in this thing. It's just one of those things we gotta get done. Yeah. It smells like vinegar. That's kind of nice. I wonder what Reba McEntire's doing. To her, hopefully. Wonder if I could just bend this. So it's time to actually time the engine here. We need to get this on top dead center before we go any farther. And the Ford here has a really neat feature, is a built-in timing pin, this little guy right here. And this is a spare gear I brought with just in case. You can see this little dimple or depression here, I guess it would be. As the engine rotates around, the pin's gonna fall into that, and that's gonna signal that we're at top dead center. And then we just pull this out, pop it back in again. Really simple. So we're gonna need fuel, obviously. Dennis, the guy around here that works on the T's and some of the other cars, says, I got something for you. Nice little jug here. NHRA clamps. We definitely need clean fuel though, and this is gonna do it for now. Still not, that's not looking there yet. I just wanna hear this run, then we'll go through that nightmare. So before we jam some Firemaker down into the fuel, make it happen here, I'm gonna go ahead, snag it off, crack it open, and just make sure that, well, fuel can happen. And it is in fact rebuilt. A little bit of juice in there, that's doing the thing. Gaskets in great condition, all new hardware. So I'll put this back together and get it on. Neutralis. Nothing. So this starter solenoid, which by the way is not the original solenoid, has failed. No go. The good news is I know how to jumpstart this. So let's go right to gone in 60 seconds mode. I'm suspecting no spark. No, that is sparking. Well, we just gotta try to find the right combination of fuel, throttle, and choke here. And it's gonna take a little bit of, you know, I don't know, guessing. Pouring fuel. It's getting fuel. No doubt about that. Give it a little bit of nitrous oxide. Terrible. Don't ever do that to your car, please. It's got throttle. Gav is open. Choke. It's smoking more out of the carburetor than it is the... Oh, is the exhaust plugged? Oh yeah, rust just poured out of that thing. Look at all this that came out of just the inlet of that muffler. Oh wow. Huh. This hopefully should be it. More throttle. I gotta get this combination right. Oh, I don't think there's any compression left in this thing. I think that might be the starter smoking. Near, far, wherever you are. Fade to black, commercial scene. So we're out here in Detroit working on this Model A, and this thing is really fighting us. 64 years sitting, it's just not wanting to go right now. Working down the list here, we've got sparkles, we've got fuel. The last thing is compression. So I'm gonna go ahead and run a compression test on this and just see where we're at and potentially put some oil in there. Who knows, there may not be enough, you know, to make combustion. 32 pounds of compression, that's not good. Number 2 is dead, completely. Number 3, 32 and a half. Number 4, 1 pound? No, that's 0. So that's fine. It'll probably come back around again. No, not at all. Okay, all right, we got oil. Wow. Oh, that one's stuck. It's not coming down. Oh, right in the center of the kneecap. That's my favorite. Well, the exhaust valve on 2 and 4 are stuck, as you can see. So I'm going to do the right thing and just stick various objects down the spark ignitor hole and just spray as much goop of any sort of chemical I can find that says lubricant or rust killer or penetrant or don't drink. Looks like we're pulling a motor. Losing light here pretty quick, so I think what I'm going to do is there's plenty of room in the old service shop. I'm going to get this inside, get some better light on it, and introduce it to a friend, my secret weapon. We could tear into this thing a little bit better. So on the Vice Grip Garage YouTube channel, I got an old Model A that was sitting forever, got it running, and I drove it home 700 miles, and my good friend Paul Shin here was a big part of that success. He is a Model A genius. So when I called him when I was looking at this one, he told me a couple words. What were they?
I said, don't buy it.
Pretty much flat out, don't buy it. So not only did I buy it, but then I talked him into coming out to help me with this thing. So where we're at, Paul, is we've got ignition, spark, much thanks to your distributor that you rebuilt for me, but we've got 2 stuck valves in this thing. So where are we at?
It's definitely time to pull the head.
Play some whack-a-mole with some valves?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shove a bunch of rope down in the cylinders. So I've got number 1 and number 4 all the way down. Number 2 and 3 are at top dead center. And then we're going to hit the starter and the head's going to bounce right off. Or break. Whichever.
This is better than my option, which involved a really big torch and hammer. So, am I doing the cranking?
Yeah, I mean, you're standing there, so might as well. It's your car.
How long do I just tell it?
It'll just pop right up.
I'll be dipped. This is the oddest head removal I've ever seen in my life, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, man. She's a little carboned up there, Derek.
Oh, it's kind of like Play-Doh, actually. Someone got a Ziploc bag. We're going to need a lot more brake cleaner.
Oh, yeah. There's an open valve. There's an open valve. Right now, this should be down.
Okay. So.
Oh, it's moving.
That didn't take much force at all.
There it goes.
That was it? Wow. Should we just spin it again and see if they bounce?
Yep.
Boom.
Boom!
Paul, this might run.
Yep, it'll run like this.
Oh, looks even worse. Good. For tonight, I'm going to go ahead and soak this down. Make sure that those rings, well, give them the best chance possible. What a tremendous day wrenching. I think we're in a really good position tomorrow. Get everything reassembled and hear this car run for the first time in 397 million years. I don't know. It's a lot. See you bright and early tomorrow. Day 2 of our Model A build. Where do we start today?
I think it's time to start with this. Let's
Fuel.
get the soup out of the fuel tank.
Great. I'll find a vacuum.
Better be a strong one. Nothing sketchy about this at all.
Oh, that smells. Yeah. Real good. Oh. Wow.
Oh. That's horrendous.
It's like deck stain. Oh. Oh yeah, that's plugged completely solid. Oh, that smells even better on this end. It's like burnt cat toes. Okay, we need some liquids to pour in there. Most of it's just going into my retinas. So, just safety squint, just keep doing it. So Paul has successfully vacuumed. Now what we're gonna do is dump some fuel into the tank. He's gonna dance in the car, shake it up a little bit. We're gonna screen that, refill the jug, however long it takes until the stuff coming out of the tank might be flammable. And not plug the shutoff valve or the filter. One bedside pan.
Oh,
That's a cigarette. That's a hand-rolled cigarette.
holy smokes!
Well, I'm higher than Willie Nelson skydiving right now. Wonder what Alan Jackson's doing today. Probably something similar. Yeah, see, there's like a baffle. That's where all the chunks are from, is the baffles. I mean, it looks like the bow of the Titanic. I think we're fine. So it's finally time to move on to bolting parts back on this thing. I'm going to start by cleaning up this head right here, get the head gasket out and ready, get this back on, then we'll move on to all the other stuff.
Oh, it's pudding. Okay. Great. Probably not supposed to be that dark.
So while Paul's tearing into the oil pan, I talked him into the dirty job, you know. I'm going to go ahead and take the wheel off, take the spindle off, inspect the brakes. Ooh, those have been Craigslist rebuilt. Oh, brand new shoe pads. That's great news.
We're halfway there now.
So this car actually has mechanical brakes, which is really nice. It actually runs on these rods. So when you hit the brake pedal, they all run on levers, essentially, all four tires. So we don't have any wheel cylinders or master cylinders or brake lines to replace. Finally. It's great news.
We'll see how much sludge is in the bottom of this.
Look at the wear on it.
That's fantastic. It's a Model A. It's not a Formula One car.
Massive reassembly time.
Let's do it. Can I borrow one of your fingers, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, thank you. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Awesome.
This is cleaner than my grandma's driving record over here. Yeah, so, since we're so far into this engine, I'm just, finished rebuilding this here. This is a terrible color, but it's the closest we can get to the original old school blue Ford, which isn't on the shelf, at your typical parts store. So, better than John Deere green. We're getting ready to do a compression test on this engine again. Well, we've cleaned everything up. We've got the valves unstuck. We cleaned the cylinders. We've dropped the pan, cleaned everything out there. We've got new gaskets all the way around. The goal is, hopefully, we're going to be hitting around 45 pounds of pressure. We'll see what happens here. Paul's going to jump the starter for me. Ready? Okay. Okay. We've got almost 45.
Right on. All right.
Okay, number 2. Oh, that's not good.
What do we get?
That was about 8 pounds. Go ahead. 25.
Okay.
And this one was
Ready?
dead. Yeah. Okay. And that one's about 22, 23. So we've got improvements on all of them except that pesky number 2.
Oh, you think that exhaust valve stuck itself again?
I don't know. We rolled it over several times, the head off.
Has to be that valve seat.
Blowing past the seat.
Yep. Has to be.
Well, in this case, that's major machine work.
That's major machine work. But one of two things can happen. You can run it can get hot, it can clear itself out. Or it never clears out.
Yeah, hopefully some heat. Blow the cobwebs out of it.
Right.
Full choke, go ahead. Oh,
we pour some fuel in there, put the plug in, hook it up, see if it goes bang.
This engine might just be too done to go. Day 3 on the Motor City Model A. We're trying to get this stubborn old thing to run. And unfortunately, late last night, I think we finally came to grips that it's probably just too tired and it's not going to do it. All right now is perusing around Detroit trying to find another engine as a potential replacement. While he's doing that, I am going to just start tearing this thing apart. So by the time he gets back, we can hopefully start pulling this thing out. That ain't gonna work. Rod's out.
We're here about 45 minutes outside of Detroit. We found a Model A motor online for sale. It's used, but we're going to check it out. Well, it's definitely used. Looks like it's been modified to be in a tractor of some kind. I mean, at the core of this is a Model A motor, that's for sure. I think do a compression test on this to see what we got. There we go. Yes! All right, compression check commencing. Yeah, that is a real compression reading now. 55 on that one. I've got 57 on that one. Look at that, 58. 62. Okay, this does have good compression. So this isn't a perfect engine, but it's a lot better than what we have right now. So I think we're going to go ahead and buy this thing and take it back to the shop.
So this is what budget got us, huh?
This is budget.
So it came out of a tractor, very dirty, but
Taste it.
fresh oil,
Minty.
like brand new.
Yeah.
You said it's got good compression.
Excellent compression.
All the other doodads we have. So we just got to put a clutch on it, change out this flywheel thing, put it back together, get it in the car. Nice find. Motor City, man. So this particular one, we are running out of time if we're going to pull this off. We beautified the other one. It ain't going to happen here. We're going to throw it together, basically make the best engine we can out of the two, get it in the car as quickly as possible, because we still got to fix the universe roof and brakes and clutch, stuff like that.
There it is. Stay there, don't move.
Go clockwise for stock performance, counterclockwise if you want to hop it up. We'll pretend that didn't happen.
Never happened.
Ooh, yeah.
Sweet.
Machined,
Done.
ready to go. So I'm actually using another transmission shaft as a clutch alignment tool instead of the actual tool. Redneck 101.
Here we go. Up, C, D, Z.
Faster but slower.
Gotta come back. Tilt. There you go. Like that.
There. We have contact. Lightning hose is hooked up. Lightning can is hooked up. Lightning whirler is in. We got a fuel hose hooked into the oldest fuel make it happener on the property. Sucker's gonna run right now.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Bump the throttle, choke, okay. Awesome. Good job.
Good job.
It's a titch loud.
Little what? Huh?
Okay, so
Someone
now,
answer that phone?
so now we've got to hurry up and get it loaded on a trailer. We've got a very special appointment at Detroit Exotic Auto Interiors. They're actually going to work all the way through the night to get a top and the interior put back in this thing. So you and I have a full day of wrenching tomorrow and can finish everything else up. The car was just dropped off this morning back from upholstery, and wow, has it transformed. The curvature and everything, seats look great, but now it's up to us to finish this thing here. I've got to do something with the paint, so I'm going to completely rebuild it. And by that I mean and maybe a little bit of polishing, but I think we're going to have to divide and conquer. Why don't I start sanding on the hood? What are you going to start with?
I'm gonna do the radiator, put the hoses on, and then we'll see if this thing holds water.
All right, let's hit it.
So this is a standard GM single wire alternator that has been converted to 6-volt positive ground, so it can be used in a Model A with a stock electrical system. It'll A, not overcharge the battery, B, give us decently bright headlights regardless of the engine speed, and C, it just looks cool. That should still go there. I mean, that's actually perfect, just like it is.
No leaks yet?
No, not yet.
Had to find some sandpaper. This is slightly advanced. Normally it'd start off with like 80 grit or something like that, but I'm gonna go straight to 1 grit. See, keep it level though. You don't want any low spots. We'll be at that SEMA show in no time. Whew. Like a small block Chevy bracket.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was looking for the longer one. I know the tension's pretty critical on these. Also, you need a fine adjustment anyway.
Dang, that's perfect. So this is Dennis. He's a member and instructor here at MC3, and he's been a huge help, not only with all your tools and everything else, but his knowledge has just been phenomenal. And he's got some cool cars here too, actually. You gonna show us your T real quick?
Yeah, we'll take a tour of the showroom and I'll show you the Model T Coupe.
Awesome, very cool.
Okay, we're here in the showroom of one of the first Ford dealership that was on Grand Boulevard. This is a 1912 Model T Coupe. It's got that fastback look to it. It has very nice interior. The motor's been all rebuilt. It's got a high compression head on it. They were very simple operating. So you had your throttle, which is your gas on your right hand. Your advance was on your left hand. You had a switch basically instead of a key to make contact. There's 3 pedals. Reverse is the middle pedal, and then this is a high and low. This actually has a strap for 3 adjustments on the windows, and then you've got your throttle adjustment here for your carburetor, lean mixture, and then choke. That's an acetylene generator. It runs acetylene gas. It runs through this hose. And you use it just like propane. You would open this up and actually light it. It came from the mining industry because it was a safe way of having something that was ignitable gas. It's been used in several parades. We use it for dignitaries around Detroit. But basically, you know, it's a representation of what was built in Highland Park. So we're just glad to see it here down in the city and down at the old dealership.
we're trying to drive along as I've added an inline fuse to the electrical system. The Model A did not come with a fused electrical system, but it's a really, really good idea to do this. It won't catch on fire now.
Oh, that's neat. Well, the hood's gonna be shiny. I don't think he cares. Got everything else prepped here. They got kind of a booth in here with an exhaust fan. Actually, I'm going to be rattle canning this right next to a Corvette Stingray. That's real life. Great. No, that's a bad idea. Like Rihanna says, shine bright like a diamond. Or something like that. Yeah. So let's just go to plan B. Lawnmower tank to the rescue. Strap it up here on the tire. If it works, is it really a dumb idea? You know what I mean? Give me fuel. I'll give you fire.
Gas is on.
Oh, this is way smaller than my two-door.
Yes, yes it is.
Ignition on.
Should just
Choke.
go. You're in gear.
My clutch is in, which is not good.
Uh-oh.
Well, so far it appears the clutch does not work.
So we have a little work to do on that.
Paul was under the car already looking at the clutch when he was adjusting the brake rods and everything there, and it's super corroded. There is some adjustment left, but, I mean, 6 decades sitting there, rusting. So we're going to see if we can break loose the linkages.
I can push the clutch pedal down and give you a little bit more room. Almost.
Oh.
Back.
Oh, I think I just had a hernia. Yes!
Shoot!
Victorious. Yes!
Dude, yes!
We're in business.
Let's do this.
All right, we're gonna get cleaned up, pack some tools, and we're gonna take you guys to an incredible destination. Your mind is gonna be bottled. Mine already is, and I'm not even there yet.
We're gonna remember this forever.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Paul, it's been a week. Highs, lows, highs again, and more lows. Everything from putting together an engine, all the accessories just to find out it was bad, to finding a $500 unknown condition face space engine, putting it in again, clutch, floors, brakes, pretty much everything. But here we are, ready to put this car back on the road in over 6 decades. You ready?
I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right, let's go. You get in a lot easier than me. Can you imagine how many Fords drove out of that building?
Oh, man. No, we just did, too.
This is a blast. Cruise like this all day long. Second gear. Smooth, too, actually.
Little advance. Oh, that was a little rough.
The Corvette suspension isn't quite
That's
broken
right.
yet. Thermometer. Already getting honked at. I also can't see anything above the hood because of how tall I am. I have to drive like Lurch, like or Bowser in a go-kart.
Funko drive car now.
Yeah. Good job on the brakes.
That's the most important part.
I can't believe the amp gauge works. It's charging. It's incredible.
The radiator overflow.
We gotta get some wind in this thing.
Yeah, it's getting hot. They're not made for this.
Coupe Town Museum.
We're definitely in Detroit.
First paved road, first stoplight, which is really a guy in a crow's nest and a whistle.
What a job.
Man, this is incredible. I love how fascinated people are with A's.
Oh, they love them. I say it all the time. Model A's make people happy.
They do.
They really do.
Fisher Building, that is incredible.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I bought a microwave. I built the world's largest marble structure. We're here, we might as well go down Woodward Avenue.
Let's do it. Oh, nice double clutch downshift.
Thank you. You know, I know that you're used to doing everything by the book with Model A's, rightfully so, but we had to cut a few corners to pull this one off, but I have to ask you, what's the alternative in that case?
Well, that's the thing, though. If we hadn't done what we did here, this thing would still be out there rotting, and it would just end up getting scrapped. At least it's on the road now. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not a fine point judging Model A, but it's on the road again.
Exactly. And in 4.5 days, it's roadworthy.
Resurrected.
And bumpy. Those watching have probably figured out by now we're going to a Ford plant.
Very historic place.
6 stories tall. Incredible. Here's what's left of some of the manufacturing here.
Amazing. Look at all the brickwork.
You know, the team started in 1908. Henry immediately commissioned this building, gambling, thinking it was going to take off, which it did. It took 2 years to build. And then in 1910, the Model Ts were moved over here. He either had a very good vision or he just like rolling the dice. This is a bucket list for me.
Same here.
There's the corporate offices.
Right there. Let's do this.
This is incredible. Wow. So here we are at the Highland Park Ford plant. We actually just pulled into the executive garage. Henry Ford himself parked here for many, many years. This is absolutely incredible. What a whirlwind week, and this is an awesome way to end it.
This is really, 4.5 days of complete thrash on this car. So we found this thing. It had been sitting for over 60 years, abandoned. We brought this thing to life. It's amazing. I can't believe the transformation.
A lot of work in 4.5 days, right?
Yeah, well, no sleep, and look what you can do.
Yeah. So not only did we get the wrench on this thing in the first Ford dealership in Detroit, but we brought it back to where legend has it this thing was prototyped and designed right here in these executive buildings.
Goosebumps, man.
Absolutely incredible. And what's amazing is, in 1913, this was the first automobile factory that had a moving assembly line.
That's right.
And they were able to build a complete Model T in just 93 minutes. Think about that. That's insane. Eventually, over 15 million Model Ts would be produced, and then came the A and so forth. It's just incredible how much history we're in. Should we walk around for a little bit, check this place out?
Oh, gosh. I was hoping you would ask. Yes.
Well, that's going to do it. Car off the road for 6 decades. Back roadworthy, but stay tuned. There's a lot more cars to rescue. Let's check this place out. That's a good screen. time at Roadworthy Rescues, I get a 60 El Camino back on the road for the first time in 30 years. Ooh. Next stop, Cadillac Ranch. This is gonna be really cool. This week on Roadworthy Rescues, a guy has found himself in the panhandle of Texas, where I bought this 1960 Chevrolet El Camino. Plan is I don't have one. I do want to get it running, clean it up, put it back on the road, however, for the first time in 20 years. Now, most people are familiar with the El Camino, but don't really know a lot about them. It was a knee-jerk reaction to the wildly successful Ford Ranchero, which came out in '57. This is a first-gen built on the Biscayne platform. So let's go ahead and walk around this rig, see what it's going to take to put this thing back on the road. And I think we'll start in the back here, because the whole truck, car, trar thing we got going on. Well, one of the first things I'm noticing is a lack of rust. It's alarming. I'm not used to that, but we'll take it. The other thing is it's been painted. It was this pretty teal color, which a lot of them were. It's been two-toned at some point in its life. Back here on the business side, we got a plate last registered in '94. We got a brake juice bottle. It means we don't got brakes. That's weird. And then I'm noticing a bullet hole back here. We got shattered glass in the back and bullet holes in the front. That tells me we are, like I say, in Texas. So it was target practice. All right, let's jump in the cabin of this thing, see what we got going on the inside. Okay, well. Smells like a baby changing table with antique store dust on it. It's tantalizing. It's kind of nice, actually. Grandma's carpet, looking pretty good. Check this out. Heard about them swiveling seats. What about the fully removable? There is no hardware, holes in the floor, anything. There is this Jurassic Park skull, though, that I'm going to make a necklace out of. Rip, rip. Welcome to Roadworthy Rescues. I love these gauges. 59 and 60 were basically the same. This one shows 82,655.2 miles. Don't have an ignition stick. Oh, don't need one. You know, the 40s through mid-60s GM cars, they all do that. We got an Automagical based on this. Looks like a Power Glide. These came with a manual Power Glider 3-speed. We got the best of them, in my opinion. Manual would be cool, but maybe not, because I'm lazy. All right, let's get under the hood. Okay, well, this is not a 283, and it's definitely not a 348. Those were the two V8 options. And it's not a straight 6. This has been swapped at some point. It's got corporate blue paint on the head and the block down here, so that tells me right away that it's a 77 to 82 Chevrolet small block. It's got the modern clutch fan on it. It's got a 2-barrel to a 4-barrel intake adapter. That's different. Normally you want all the barrels. Still on points. Lightning hoses. It's got brake booster with just the single pot of death over here. May have to address that. Those can get a little sketchy, but it's all here. Let's see what it's got for oil. Conventional 1030. No gas, no antifreeze. That's good. But we got all the fixings here to hopefully make this thing run. Where I'm going to start is throw a wrench on the crankshaft, make sure this thing rolls over. Oh, she's turning. Then we'll throw a lightning cube in it. Get out of here. Install. Test the ignition. My voltage meter says that's good. We got gen and oil light. See if it cranks. No. Let's see if it cranks. No. Now we know why it was parked. Probably needs a starter. Holy cobwebs. We need a spiderologist on the show so they can tell us what we're, ruining our lives on. So I was just laying under here eating spider webs and just noticed this is not a power guide. The column indicates it was originally, but when they swapped in this engine, along came with it a TH350. So now we have 3 gears instead of 2. So that's pretty cool. We got glass packs. Then we'll be full of stuff. So first step, take a look at the starter. And I got my Lone Wolf 6000 trigger. Rebuilding starter. I think we do in fact have a bad starter. Okay, well, let's put a starter in. So this is our bad starter here. It's not starting anymore. And I just wanted to show you quick, there are some different bolt patterns. See, this one is directly across. That would be for like typically an older block style. This one is diagonal, not directly across. Thankfully, Chevrolet is really, really good about parts interchangeability. And in some cases, these blocks are actually drilled for both provisions, which this one is. So all we had to do was pick up another long bolt. We should be able to mount this in, has the same tooth count and everything like that. And a guy went on ahead and put new battery cables on as well. Those ones are from the Nixon administration. All goes well, should be able to climb in and twist the screwdriver, and this thing should rotate on its own. Starter's working, needs shimmed. It needs shimmed. That's fine. I don't mind taking it off again. Bring me high love. Synthesize. Well, the good thing is it's getting colder, and it's actually snowing in Texas currently. Well, we're dealing with the starter here, and I have to eat crow. I said that these starters will just bolt right in and everything will work. I failed to mention that there are flex plate differences. Most commonly, you have a 168 tooth. We have a 153, which is smaller and requires a different starter. But see how this bolt is offset farther from the center than this one. So we're going to have to get the correct one so it'll work with our flex plate. We're going to give her a go. This should hopefully spin her over. No. Oh, you can't make this up. Starter solenoid is bad or something. How? Why? Why? Starter coming out for the 19th time. I think our new starter's bad. That's what's supposed to happen. Not shorts and sparks. So, new starter, wrong style, great. New starter, right style, bad. Can I take new starter solenoid onto that one? Well, I don't know. We could ruin both of them. If this works, I get a margarita mixer on set. That's all I'm saying. Ice machine, blender, 5 to 6 flavors, crushed or cubed ice, bendy straws, and we could just use Dixie cups because, budget. Charge. Ha-ha! got it. So this guy shorted out junk. Now I get to put it in for, what are we on, 17 installs? Can't buy new parts anymore. You can't trust them. Can't trust them at all. I have never fought a starter like this in my life, I don't think. Here. The battery's still hooked up there. It smells like burning eyebrows down here. Oh wait, it is. I'm gonna throw something down here. It's either gonna fire off or it's not. And if it doesn't, then we don't have spark. All right. Bring the thunder. Yes. Boom. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. We got a lot of work to do. This sounds great. It's not knocking. It's not smoking. Yes. You know, other than the 17-day starter battle, it was pretty easy, actually. Wait, maybe I should test the transmission first. Oh. There we go. Yeah, nice soggy reverse with a little bit of drive. Man, we're golden. Smells like someone spilled ATF. Well, the El Camino down here in snowy Texas runs. So that means let's make it run even more gooder. We're going to clean this thing up, tear off this 2-barrel intake and the point system, put a 4-barrel back on it, bigger carburetor, ATI conversion, Craigslist rebuild, the whole 9 yards, and bomb this thing around Texas and find that big 72-ounce steak. Let's dig in. Oh, clean separation. Okay, it's pretty clean. We're getting ready to put the new intake on. Just a little tech tip, because tricks are for kids. These little rubber thingies, do not use them. They have little provisions to snap into the block, all cute like, but 99.643% of the time, these squish out after some time and create massive oil leaks on the front or rear of your engine. So throw these away, and then we're just going to use some room temperature vulcanization cream and just kind of weld in our own bead, front and rear about a 1/4 inch, and then we'll plop on our new intake. It goes a little something like this. This is an HEI distributor, so we can just apply 12 volts to this. It's got an internal coil, everything's contained right here. We can just slide this in and then we can get rid of that external coil and the points and all that stuff, which obviously worked, and they work pretty decent, but these just have good reliability and longevity. Pulling all the sparkulators, massive oil, carbon, soot. So we're going to pretend we didn't see that and just jam a new one in there. Well, we snazzed up our engine a little bit here. Now, obviously, we didn't have to do this, but you know, we wanted to add a little bit of torque, a little bit of power, and ultimately we want to cruise around Texas, so we want to have that. We did that with an air gap dual plane intake here, and then we put the 600 Holley 4-barrel on here with electric choke. We got the HEI in here, and of course, you had to go with the chrome kit. Might get us home, probably not. I got a little bit more to finish up, some wiring, some vacuum lines, but we're running out of daylight, and the real feel is now 8 degrees, starting to get a little chilly. So I think we're going to call it for tonight. See you in the morning. Well, I did make it back to Amarillo by morning. In here in the garage with the 60 El Camino, snowy Texas. We had a
snowstorm yesterday. That was kind of bizarre. We're going to try to get this thing running and idling today, but I've got a lot of work to do, and I think I'm going to start with the fuel system, actually. So there's a hard line running from the tank up to the cross member here. Then it goes into a rubber line to the actual fuel pump. I'm going to rip that rubber line off, and I'm going to put a new line in with a filter in place. So if we do start pulling rust and Legos and chicken legs, it'll get stuck in the filter and not the pump. And then I'm going to run a new soft line here with another filter before it gets to our new fancy fuel make it happen, or don't want to fill that full of gunk. So it's a race to see which breaks first, my hands from cold or these old rotten lines, basically. Here we go. Oh, what a cream puff. Not pumping yet. Still not pumping. Uh-oh. Not looking good. Confirmed it's plugged. Look, truck, not car. Also, I was just laughing at myself yesterday. 1994 is 30 years, not 20. Right where I want to go, and I'm a real loner. There's 2 fuel tanks. What am I looking at? This could be our issue here. And then we got some copper line. Well, there might be a switch up here. Found it. There's a ball valve that switches tanks. So now this got really complex because that runs to here and then to both tanks. I put fuel in the stock tank, but which one is that? I don't know. Now I gotta dig through all of this, try to figure out what's going on. It's like Thompson water seal. Here's the deal. The actual fuel tank, the real one, is plugged. So then I hook my line to the second tank and watch. I could blow straight through. So now we're going to try to figure out how to put fuel in that second tank that's in there, saving us 58,912 hours labor, and most importantly, cost on parts. I don't understand. How do you fill it? Found it. Truck bed. It means this tank hasn't been used in a very, very long time because it's covered in wood. There's got to be a better way. What, you've never shoveled your truck bed before? Aha! Gasket. Everything's fine. I've just been thinking about this. Theorizing. This thing has a hidden auxiliary fuel tank and a small block. That gets 15 miles to the gallon on the high. Why would you need so much fuel unless you didn't want to stop for fuel? And this thing was clearly shot at from behind. Maybe this was transporting some sort of items. You know what I mean? I don't know, just saying. We are down by the border. So now I'm going to go underneath, drain what's in there. It looks like beef broth. Put some fresh fuel in, see if I can pull that to the front, and boom, we got a fuel system. Watch out, Joe. Now I'm moving on to the cooling system quick. Gonna get out this old Harrison rat. All the fins are bent over and folded, and it's crusty and crody. We'll jam in an aluminium one, and that'll also help keep this performance engine nice and cool. Well, ain't that snazzy? That's slicker than pig poop on a pump handle, I ain't kidding you. Went right in. So here's where we're at here on this El Camino. We've got the oil change now. We've got a air gap intake, 4-barrel carburetor, HEI distributor, a little bit of chrome, new aluminium rad, spliced into trans-cooler lines. We've got new fuel lines. We've got it hooked to a mysterious fuel tank in the back that takes a shovel to access. And I think we're ready to go ahead and try to fire this up again, see if the head gaskets work, all of that stuff. Bring the thunders. Oh yeah, new starter too. How did I forget that? It seems to be pulling fuel. So all the old oil and grease and 58 gallons of ATF that I spilled, it's cooking off of the manifold. It's how you can tell it's warming up. It's an indicator. It's real nice. You should try it. See if the timing's close. Oh. Telling you, a guy's ear meter is dialed. It's barely even smoky in here. So here's the deal on the brakes. There are none. Weird, right? So we've got the single pot of death over here. It is a boosted unit, which is pretty cool, but I'm gonna try to upgrade the brakes to at least disc front. So we'll have disc front brakes, drum rear brakes. It'll make it quite a bit more safe and more fun to drive. But that's going to be quite a bit of work. We're going to have to try to convert all of this to a modern master cylinder like this one. This one's a 4-port master cylinder, which requires quite a bit of bleeding in 2 separate functions. We'll cross that bridge when the river gets here or whatever. But first, we're going to try and put this in. Here we go. Joe, where's the 5/8? Ah! The instructions are a little bit vague when it comes to the rod and pedal assembly. The kit says, just take the rod out and put it in your new master cylinder and you have brakes. It's easy. Well, this is our rod, and clearly it's significantly too short to reach the pedal arm and actually plunge the master cylinder. So before I cut up the other rod we have, we're going to try to bolt this onto this, which looks not even remotely right. But I've discovered through methods of using my finger as a tape measure that the rod protrudes roughly the same distance as needed with the old one. What makes it more difficult is this piston is stuck down. So long story short, there's absolutely no precision. I'm just hacking miscellaneous parts together to try to make juice come out of this so the tires stop turning. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to cut everything into pieces and make my own brakes. Somehow, some way, I think this bled. So we're going to keep rolling with it. What I'm going to do, instead of replumbing the entire truck, because we're moving the discs up front, leaving the drums in the back. Right now there's just T-blocks in here, and I'm going to jump these. So right now I've only got this one line, and then I'm going to run this down. It already tees and goes to the left front wheel and the right front wheel, but over there it also tees and goes to the back. I'm going to plug that, run one line in the rear to a proportioning valve, and that allows us to increase or decrease the brake action in the rear, which is awesome because we can turn them off if we want to accidentally hold the brake and gas pedal at the same time. And then basically all I got to do is just run that one line over to where that T was. Boom, we're done. And then I can actually start on putting in the calipers and rotors and all of that stuff. All that work to just put this on the front. Okay, me and Joseph are going to go have a drink.
Come on, Joe.
Well, the guy stayed last night until I lost light, but I was able to get all of the brake line hard lines plumbed. We have all of the brakes, except they don't currently work. Today now I've got to jack this up, get the front tires and wheels off, blow apart the drums, basically strip this thing all the way down to the spindle, and then rebuild it with the dinner plate brakes and the caliper and rubber soft lines and all of that stuff. It's going to be a long day of keeping my hands warm, keeping them busy, and hopefully here we're going to get some disc brakes in the front. I heard a rumor there's a 72-ounce stake somewhere around these parts. We're going to drive this thing there. I am bound and determined. Let's dig in. Rebuilding.
Wow, this one's got some spray on it. Trying to get the bracket try figured out. This is going to hold the caliper. We'll be sliding the disc on. I don't know, I'm not used to these fancy brakes. The dinner plate. Captain's log. Garage in Texas. I love brakes. Biggest lie told this year so far. BAM! One disc brake complete. Needs to get worn in a little bit. Still need to bleed it, but now I'm going to move to the other side, rinse and repeat. Time to put some good rubber on this car because we got to let it down and roll it forward so I can get to the back. So we might as well show you the tires and wheels we're going to be going with. And there's a particular style I'm going for, which is 70s on this rig. We got this wheel and tire combo here. These are, I believe they're a 235/60. We're going to get rid of these and go with the classic Krager. But with the kicker, look at the red striped tires. These are a 225/70/15. Slightly taller, but that's because we're going to go with a 255 in the back. I think these are going to look awesome. Let me throw these on quick. There we go. They seem to fit. Boom! Okay, good enough. Let's go. This glass is terrible. Every time I wipe this, there's another crack. We're going to go for a test ride in the Texas El Camino here. Engine stalled up, running pretty good. Well, it's rolling. First time on the road in 30 years. That's something, actually. Front tire's rubbing. Okay, we'll ignore that for now. Wish the front windshield was as clear as the back one. Motor seems to run pretty good, though. Second gear. Second gear. There's second gear. It's shifted. It's getting better. You just gotta drive these old rigs. They'll come back around on you. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm pretty sure I'm related to him based on how he's dressed. And I don't think he's leaning, you see. He's saying, my back hurts. It runs, it drives, it shifts, it steers, everything rubs, it's terrible, it's sloshy, and there's no brakes. So this drive's going really good. So the front tires were rubbing on our test drive every time I would turn them, basically. The disc brake kit moved the tires out 7/8 of an inch. I think that's what might have caused that interference. So I did an alignment and made sure that we had more room by just cutting the bottom of the fenders off. Well, Gary from Canyon Glass is here to put glass in the El Camino. We actually found some at Classic Industries, and those guys helped us out big time, hustled and got it here. Unfortunately, the forklift driver, while unloading the windshield, dropped it on the ground. It looks like the front one we have now, but we're still going to get a back glass in, so it's more-ish, kind of legal-ish for the road. Gary, you done this before? These old curb classes?
I've done a few. I have not done an El Camino this old. I've done a 68 and a 70 for a buddy.
Well, I admire you because I look at it and go, nope.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah. All right, we're just kind of wanting to take the chrome off here and kind of inspect the pinch weld here. There is some rust, but I don't think it's going to hinder us because this is a rubber set method. It's got the rubber gasket on it. So once we get it cleaned up, get this all off, we'll apply the gasket to the windshield, and we do what we call a rope in. The rope pulls the lip of the gasket over the edge of the pinch weld, which was really common on the older cars and stuff.
Well, the fellers at Canyon Glass made easy work of this back glass in the truck. I probably wouldn't have attempted that myself, but they got it right in. Looks great. Thanks a lot for getting it in.
You bet.
All right, take care. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. Since it'll stop and it'll go, let's get the hood back on this, run it down to a car wash 30 years of filth off of this thing so we can start working on the exterior looks. There we go. Brake check. Follow. Oh, yeah, we skid. Oh, look at all the dirt flying out of the back. We really loosened her up. All right, what do we got? Lava. That doesn't sound good. Bug prep, we need that. Blasters, yes. Triple wheel scrubber. Okay, we're going with the big dog. Here we go. Such a bad idea. All of a sudden. Okay. Yep. There we go. Now we're scrubbing. Hopefully the windshield doesn't cave in. Okay. So far, so good. Now get that tailgate good. Oh no, here comes the high pressure. Oh, it's off, never mind. This is a very confused car wash machine. What is happening? Excuse me, what are you doing? Oh, it's the wheel scrubber. Never been in something like this in my life. Watch the paint up here, why is it so close? This one's just flapping around. This one's gouging the fender in. That one's doing nothing, you're fired. Oh. Okay, we got some colored stuff. That's not much foam for 15 bucks. Look at the side windows. That's not much foam for 15 bucks. I don't think that's gonna clean it. It's just a really lazy, oh wow, this is like a different color of foam of some kind. Oh, okay. No. Spot-free rinse. Well, I'm seeing spots everywhere. Rip off. That'll dry the tires off. We just got kicked out of that car wash. That's all right. I was going to ask for a refund anyway. Junk. Well, car wash, not successful. Testing our first burnout. Not terribly bad. Not terribly bad. Too nice of tires to be doing burnouts though. So we got the Vice Grip Garage gloss wipe on clear coat here, and then we'll throw in our clear coat catalyst, mix it up. And then all we have to do is just take this applicator pad and just wipe this on. Nice even strokes. A little goes a long way with this. You don't have to mix a whole can. And this thing is going to be shining in no time. Oh, wow. Clear coat everything. Well, there you go. That easy. We've got clear coat on the El Camino. Talk about a transformation. It looks awesome. Gonna go ahead and drive it back into the garage and let it dry for the night. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Back on the El Camino. It's time to lower this thing improperly goodliest. The wrong way. We're going to do our best to do it the wrong way. Using the torch. We're going to heat the coil springs up, apply some pressure, bounce it. Let me know when something's on fire. Should be able to drop this thing 2-3 inches easily. Because right now it's all kind of tooted up. We don't want that. Got to seat it. Bop, 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 bop. Another successful lowering job. Now it's got a little bit of a rake. We can show off those beautiful Kragers. It's looking good. But I got pieces of rat bones and bags blowing around in the cab. Power bait. Power nuggets. The only thing they baited was more rats. Let's take this old yucky carpet out, try to put some new carpet in, clean up the interior. Man, it stinks in here. It's terrible. Oh, wow. Look at all the rust. The cab is completely separated. You can see outside. It's not even hooked to the floor. There's about a 1 inch to 3 1/4 inch gap along the whole back of the cab here. And being this is a unibody, it's going to take some work, to patch this up. It needs a floor pan. Have to fabricate some stuff in here. So we're going to go ahead and fix this. Otherwise, water's going to keep coming in. It's going to ruin the carpet. So we're going to do a little fabrication here. All right. Oh, a little high on the heat over here. Got to get a nice bead. That is some pretty solid metalwork. Fixed. I'm going to go ahead and fix this up too. Nice. Well, the guys fought through brake issues, mismatched parts, bad parts right out of the box, but the fun time is finally here, jumping this El Camino. Go cruise around Texas, see what we can find. There's a lot to see. We're not going to see it all, obviously, but I've got a few spots in mind. So when a guy found this El Camino in Texas here, it had been off the road for 3 decades, 30 years. And it didn't need a ton of work, but we got her fired up. And it's not perfect. And yeah, I cut corners, and there's things we could have done better, but we did it on a budget. We did it in a few days. And that's the point, getting these old cars back on the road where they belong instead of just rotting away. So now we get to enjoy this old rig, go cruise around. We got some scenery coming up here. I think we might even try to find the Cadillac Ranch. The fucking cars in the old bean patch. There's a fire in the barn and the place stays packed. Now they call it the Cadillac Ranch. I'm actually really surprised at how straight this thing drives and how well it actually, well, first of all, it's a 1960 math. That's a lot of numbers, old, right? And then we torched the springs. And I'm telling you, it ain't that bad. I gotta be honest. Just like a whippersnapper right off the showroom floor. How fast are we going? 60. Oh man, paint's gonna peel off. This poor thing, after sitting all these years, threw it right on the highway, clipping 60, no issues. It's just incredible. It's only gonna start running better as we go too. You gotta get these things out and blow the webs out of them. Ooh! We're gonna swing into the baby Grand Canyon. That looks awesome. cool. So I'm at a scenic outlook here. It's absolutely breathtaking. There's several more miles of road that go through here, but if you look over yonder, it's like a 10% grade with like hairpin turns back and forth. I think I'm good right here. You know, because no seatbelts or the seat's also not bolted in and stuff like that. No big deal. This is good enough. Next stop, Cadillac Ranch. So this is really, really cool. A guy actually got permission to drive the El Camino into the field right up next to the Cadillacs. It's just all fins. This is going to be really cool. Check this out. We made it to Cadillac Ranch. We were actually able to pull right up to them. Look at all the beautiful fins back here. Love these things. We found this 60 El Camino tucked away in a garage. Been off the road for 30 years. And after a fight with the starter or three, she fired right up. We had to use a shovel to find our mystery fuel tank back here. Then we were able to start throwing upgrades at this thing. New 4-barrel intake, carburetor, HEI upgrade, cooling system upgrade with an aluminum rad up there. Of course, we had to throw some chrome on this thing to help us get here. Added a few horsepower as well. We got a front disc brake conversion on this thing. Beautiful Krager wheels, red line tires, and then we topped it off with that Vice Grip Garage gloss clear coat. This thing looks amazing. It drives amazing. We bombed it down the interstate allegedly faster than the posted speed limit. It's an awesome, awesome rig. I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes with Cadillac. Of course, I'm going to tag it up with some Roadworthy Rescues. And I'm going to find me a 72-ounce steak right down the road here. I don't know how to spell and paint. I could not be a graffiti artist, I'm telling you that. What is that? That's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned, there's plenty more to save.